Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. My beautiful radio voice going, and let's talk about this. All right. Why do whole foods help you get leaner easier? All right, it's going to be a few reasons that people don't always think about. When I say whole foods, I mean minimally processed, nutrient-dense foods. Right? Because all foods are processed. And we need to be clear. You can't say, well, that's a processed food. Everything you eat is processed. Shut up. Cooking is a process. What we mean is reasonably minimally processed. Now, and I'm not saying that even always has to be the case because, white rice is pretty solid food, right? Nutritionally speaking. Someone brought that up in one of my earlier videos from this morning. They're like, so you're saying white rice is bad? No. White rice, in terms of being a somewhat processed food, is actually still one of the better things you can eat. It's a pure starch, and starches are our preferred fuel source. But when we're talking whole foods, a couple things to think about. It's going to be 3 points really that we should discuss. Number one, satiety. Number two, thermic effect. Number three, recovery. These are all key points in getting leaner and losing body fat efficiently. All right, the first one's obvious. Whole foods, satiety. What's going to fill you up more? Canola oil or walnuts? Okay, so let's talk fat sources. Because we know protein has a high satiety. That's a given. We already know protein shake is actually filling. But we definitely know that eating lean meat's filling. We know tofu's filling. We know, fish, chicken, lean cuts of steak, all that stuff. High satiety. But let's talk about fats. What's going to fill you up longer? Fats that are in a matrix of whole food that have a little protein in, that have fiber. Okay, examples. Nuts. Even peanut butter, technically, compared to other fats. Okay, nuts. Avocados. All right. What's the satiety index on those? It's decent for fat sources. Pretty decent, fills you up better. Compare that to butter, right? Compare that to oils. Right? No matter how healthy olive oil is, what's going to fill you up longer? Olive oil, canola oil, or peanut butter? Butter or walnuts? Pecans? We don't call them pecans in Texas. They're called pecans. Deal with it. It's going to fill you up more. Let's come over and talk about carbohydrates. It's going to fill you up better. Oats, brown rice, or some other carb. White bread. Satiety index on those. Brown rice is going to fill you up better. Now, we could argue brown rice fills you up more than white rice. I think white rice, though, is great for bulking, by the way. Extremely good source for lean bulking. But let's talk about filling you up. Why is brown rice? Brown rice takes longer to digest. It fills you up longer. It fills you up longer, higher satiety. Now, I'm not saying white rice is even that bad there. Start throwing vegetables in there, even better. Okay? Compare that to a slice of white bread. Even a slice of whole wheat bread. Calorie per calorie, what fills you up better? Those whole grains. How about root vegetables and things? Potatoes. You guys seen the satiety index on potatoes? Even white potatoes, sweet potatoes. Those whole foods have an extremely high satiety index in the studies. They fill you up longer. So those starches that have any fiber in them, or they're in a whole food matrix still, they fill you up longer. You get less hungry on them. All right, what are we looking at? We're looking at calorie control here. Okay? All of these things, calorie control. You start throwing vegetables in on top of that, fruit. You want to talk about trying to be hard to overeat? Try to overeat watermelon or cantaloupe. Compare trying to eat that, like 300 calories, a whole giant cantaloupe. You end up, big cantaloupes are usually under 300 calories, and they're high in nutrition. Crazy amount of potassium, vitamin C, beta carotene, all right, all that stuff. Compare that to some white bread. We're not even going to go into table sugar. Not even go into refined sugar, because we know how bad that is. Replace that with artificial sweeteners, which actually have been proven to help with appetite now. All right, Even take some slices of bread compared to that cantaloupe. 3 slices of bread has more calories than the whole cantaloupe. You can eat 10 slices of bread just as easily as that cantaloupe. Easily! See where we're going with this? These whole foods are amazing for keeping you full. They'll keep you full longer. You'll overeat less. Across the board. Some of the only real exceptions seem to be like protein shakes. They seem to have a high satiety in spite of being highly processed. But their protein, we would expect that. Now again, like I said, you start throwing extra vegetables on top of that, slows digestion down, slows absorption down. All right, how does some of that even affect with that slower absorption? How does that affect energy levels? Better, more stable energy. And that's true even on the fats. Nuts, avocados, olives, all those healthy fats have fiber. That fiber slows stuff down. All right, we come over to thermic effect. I'm not even going to go into fat oxidation. Let's talk thermic effect. Whole foods. Takes more calories to digest them and absorb them. Every one of those foods I listed relative to more refined foods. I have seen experts, researchers point out that in many cases, even on a, like I said, 2,500 calorie diet, are like the same macros. So here goes out, oh, you're fitting your macros nonsense. The same macros on 2,500 calories of really processed versus higher fiber foods that are less refined. It can be up to 300 calories difference on the thermic end required to break it down, digest it, assimilate it, all that stuff. You can burn up to 300 extra calories per like 2,500 calories you eat. So in other words, that 2,500 calories on the exact same macros, same carbs, fat, and protein, could be up to 300 calories difference. The whole foods, and so let's say even 100 or 200, let's say it's 200 more calories burned just digesting it, and it takes longer to do it, and it fills you up more. This is a win. All right, another big one, recovery. Whole foods have more antioxidants, they have more phytonutrients, they have more of all of these things that we need to do what? Keep you healthier. If you're healthier, you have stuff to reduce oxidative stress, you will recover easier from your exercise, you'll recover easier from your training, you'll retain muscle better, keeps your metabolic rate higher, which lets you burn more body fat in place of it, right? Because you're retaining muscle, you're recovering better. You have more energy to burn more calories. It's a win. Then on top of that, the fiber can also speed up your metabolic rate slightly. It is linked with higher thyroid output. All the way across the board, whole foods win hands down for fat loss. They win hands down across the board. Flexible dieting that fits your macros is dead based upon that. It is not evidence-based. All the evidence points to these other things. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.